Hello there. Welcome to our little shop. Now, this is something I didn't think I was going to see for a while. But anyway. A few years ago, one of my very good friend clients come in here, and he'd cracked a headstock on this guitar, and it needed refretted, and we just did a lot of work on it. Like he's saying, it's about 5 years ago. At the time we refretted it, we used stainless steel frets. And like I said, this is his main guitar. He gigs with it all the time. And basically, he doesn't accept much of anything except perfect on his gear. Yeah, which I have no problem with. Keeps me on my toes. So he mentioned to me that his frets were starting to get a little rough, and the crown was starting to wear off of them and a few things. So I get looking here, and really there's not a lot of fret wear, but yes, he has flattened the tops out. There's some string bang marks down here. There's a few very small divots up here. We've been playing chords and stuff on a few times here. Probably can't see him. Try to get you a shot here. But there's a few little divots up here. Really no wear at all, but it's enough to bug him. And it throws him off his game. He made a comment that it really wasn't that bad, that when I did the refret before, he said the thing about the stainless steel frets is as long as he kept them clean, they felt like a brand new fret dress of mine right off the bench. So he'd made the comment before. He's also very good about grading things on a scale of 1 to 10. So he was telling me when he brought this guitar in yesterday that on a scale of 1 to 10, when I did it, it was a 14, and now it's down to a 12. So, you know, but anyway, he wants it taken care of. So we're going to check this over to see if anything's settled, changed, and all that. We're going to have to do a fret dress on it. We're going to have to, you know, level his divots out and get everything straightened back out here. Like I say, he's put about 5 years of hard use on it. And actually, you know, it's really not all that bad. But like I said, it's his guitar. It's the way he wants it to play. So we're going to fix it back up for him. So I'm going to get the pick guard off this, get the pickup dropped out of it, get it on the neck jig, and get him rolling. Well, it's been about 45 minutes. That's about the average time it takes to get guitar torn down, jigged up properly, and the frets leveled. So we're just getting started here. We're going to have lots of sanding to do. Like I said, it's taking about 45 minutes, and there you go. You know, it's pretty much the way it is, pretty much the average. So, if you look here, you'll see little bits of metal piled up here on the sides of the frets where I've been sanding. You can see it didn't take much to bring these back into level. I checked to make sure anything had shifted or changed, and I found a couple of things that had over the years. You know, wood compresses, things change. So, mainly right in this area. Simply because, like I say, of compression. But if you look, you know, you can see there's not a whole lot of filings here. So let me change this light a little bit. Just took a little bit to get it all blended back in, nice and level. So I'm going to check them again, and then finish sanding the tops of them here with a block of 400. What you see at this point was done by checking the frets, make sure there were no high ones or anything. Like I said, a couple of things popped up here and there, and some freeform filing. Then the top was sanded with a 12-inch radius block with 220 grit sandpaper on it. That brought everything in really quick. So like I said, I'm going to scuff sand and top these sideways now. Before I had sanded lengthways of the fingerboard. Now I'm going to sand across the board with 400 to get rid of some of those sanding marks on top. I'll check them to make sure they're level again one more time. Then I'll start crowning and shaping these frets again. As I said earlier, he had given it a rating of 1 to 10 of 14 when I first did it. We're going to try to get him a 15 this time. Shh, don't tell him. We'll do a couple other things too. He's using a Callahan bridge. So one of the things that's bothered me is this treble side stud stuck up a little bit. So I'm going to pull that out and cut it off and clean it up so it doesn't stick up above the bridge. But we're on our way. But we got a couple more hours of filing and sanding and shaping here. Stainless steel takes a little while. Luckily my ends and everything are all good. I don't think I have to do anything to the ends. They feel very good on the ends of the fingerboard, but we'll see. I might change my mind. So here we go. There. Oh, that's about an hour and 45 minutes later. We've got 2 hours and 41 minutes in this so far. So, that's it for today. I've been here about 10 hours right now. So I'm going to clean up my mess here. I'm going to go across town. I'm going to grab some dinner. I'm going to start doing some emails, check Facebook, check YouTube channel, track some orders, do some other stuff. Try to catch a few hours sleep and then come back here tomorrow and finish this up. At this point, all we have to do is oil the fingerboard, clean up his bridge. I want to cut this bridge stud down a little bit, string it back up and set it all back up, which is going to be really easy. He's already got one of my nylon nuts from the last time around. So setup on this should be very simple. I'm going to have to take his bridge apart, so I'm going to have to reset his intonation, reset his pickup heights and all that, because everything's dropped down the body. But there we go for today. So see you tomorrow. Well, we're back. It's just a bit after 9 a.m. I'm going to do the final polish on these frets. I'm going to use a little bit of metal polish on them before I oil the board. I was greeted with a phone call from the owner this morning, wanting to know if I hated him yet, because he knows that the stainless steel frets are actually more work. And we kind of laughed it off. It's not a big deal. This actually has gone pretty well. The hardest part was actually doing the stainless steel refret to start with, trimming the ends, filing the ends, all that. So we're going to get these frets polished up here, get this fingerboard oiled, get this stud back here taken care of, get this guitar all back together, and get it back to him. Today's Wednesday. He's gigging Friday night. So hi ho, hi ho. It's off to work we go. These studs actually go into the body so far and so tight that I didn't want to make a puller to pull them out. It's just much quicker to do it this way, and it will work out just fine. And yes, that's what that little protective piece of cardboard was for. Come on. There we go. Sore fingers from doing fret work. So, anyway. Living the life. So let's get this put back together. And there. We've taken his bridge completely apart, freed up all the stuck screws. There's a lot of rust and stuff going on here. There was some pitting on the front of this and on the back of it, but being a nice steel bridge, it cleaned up. I don't believe there's any plating on these. The thing is, it's a Callahan bridge. as I mentioned before. And this is pretty high quality stuff. I met Bill Callahan years ago at a guitar show in Columbus back in the early 90s. Seemed to be a pretty good guy. Anyway, he makes a lot of really good hardware. Nice bridge parts for Strats, so on. And this is his Tune-O-Matic bridge. A little twitching going on there. For a Wednesday, these hands have had a lot of work. So anyway, we'll get this on. I'm going to put a little light coat of wax on it again, wipe all my fingerprints off of it, and get it on the guitar. We're finishing up here. Alrighty then, here we go. We are done. Look at this bridge. Well, that was a nasty mess. He was talking about changing the bridge because it looks so bad. This is a good bridge. Anyway, we've got it all back together. Got the pickup heights all set back up. I've got the bridge height all set. Something I'm going to point out. My little stud height thing here, I like to have the studs exactly the same height as the top of the bridge. So it's not poking you in the palm on your palm mute and stuff and catching your hands and all that. Our fret dress come out really well. He also plays with a very low action. We've formulated this action for him to where it suits him. He's only running like 4/1000ths relief in the neck. The nut's very low. You can actually get by without the nylon nuts because they don't wear. He's got pretty low action on it. I've known this customer for probably, oh geez, before I had this shop open. And we opened this in '93. I'm pretty sure I met him before he was 20. His father used to bring him in to the shop I worked at before. So anyway, it's nice to know a customer, know what they want, know what they like. Anyway, there we go. We've got it all done. He had a couple of nasty dirty pots I had to clean. I cleaned his output jack. Went over everything from end to end to give a good look over. He's gig ready again. Total time, 4 hours, 19 minutes. This guitar was actually on a video from several years back. At the particular time, I don't remember the name of it. I have to check that out. But I believe it was in here for the refret and a few other things at that time. Possibly the cracked headstock. Like I say, that, yeah, if that was roughly 4 years ago, that was probably somewhere in the neighborhood of, let's see, 1,200 guitars ago. So, we're not going to talk about amps and speakers and all the other stuff. So, forgive me if I don't know the exact details. So, anyway, there you go. Just a quick look at a redo on something I'd done years ago that just needed a touch-up. So, until next time, play nice. I'll see you later.